All right, Rob and Corey here with some tips for basic computer troubleshooting. This is for all those times your computer's causing you grief. Now, there's a few things you can try before giving up and calling IT.
The tips we're about to give you will help you resolve common, simple problems and keep your computer running at optimum levels. It will also decrease overall maintenance costs, which, with our current economy, can be a good thing. Now, in addition to dealing with those daily headaches, we'll offer some tips for doing basic services on your computer to make it run better and last longer, and hopefully prevent any pandas appearing out of the blue.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all. So we're going to cover 5 basic problems that you have likely encountered at least once before. We're going to tell you what steps you can take if the tech, for example, like the computer, the display, the mouse, etc., if that won't turn on, if you have some sort of funky display, for example, everything is magenta and hot pink, or if you can't get internet access, your devices are running slow, or they won't print, either from the computer or the printer side.
Before we jump into the first problem, you should know that there are essentially 2 main steps. First, you need to diagnose the problem, and only then can you take the appropriate troubleshooting steps.
So first, for problem number 1, your tech won't turn on. Is the screen black? Does the power button do anything when you press it? Are there any error message on your screen if it isn't black? What's going on here? First off, one of the first things you need to do is touch a physical button on the device like a space bar. Maybe it's just in sleep mode. That'll usually wake it up if it is. If that doesn't work, try charging the mobile device or the laptop, etc., for a couple of hours. Or if it's a desktop, check to make sure the power cables are fully plugged in. I cannot tell you how many students I've had saying their computer is broken. My computer won't work. Dude, it's not plugged in. Like, really?
That's always fun.
The next step is to check your device owner's manual. Yes, you probably should keep those. And if you can't find it, they usually have them online, so go to a friend's device and get online and try and find it if you can't find yours. If you're still having problems, this is when it's okay to call IT.
Diagnosing problem 2. Does your screen have a funky tint, unusual text? Is the screen flickering like it's possessed? Maybe we need to have an exorcism. Are there...
FYI, do not pour holy water on your computer. It will die.
Yeah, please, no. Nope, we do not advocate that. Are there missing or incorrectly colored dots or pixels?
If so, if you're using a mobile device or a laptop, make sure you have something to protect your screen. This is a preventative measure. It will not fix an existing problem. You can try to adjust and check your brightness and other display settings, or you can change your environment. Sometimes the sun is so bright it makes it very difficult to see the screen. So if any of those don't work, you can try reconfiguring the primary power coupling.
Yeah. Nah.
That means turn it on or turn it off and turn it back on.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If the problem persists, take it to have a licensed professional look at it. Do not have your cousin Bob, who quote unquote knows a lot of computer stuff, take a look at it.
Unless he's licensed.
Unless he's a licensed
Then
professional.
you're good to go.
I don't have anything against guys named Bob. I mean, I'm just saying.
Roberto.
See?
Yeah. On a desktop, make sure you have solid connections to your display. And while doing this, it's also an ideal time to check any adapters that you might be using and their connections. I know that when I was teaching, those connections can break, and that causes a lot of the problems. So checking those adapters and swapping them out with a colleague is a great way to just make sure that that's not the cause of the problem. Most displays offer brightness, tint, and contrast buttons. Check these settings to refer to the user manual for further ideas on how to get those colors fixed. And of course, if all else fails, you need to take the computer and display into a licensed professional or call the help desk. They can usually assist you. Sometimes simply just buying you a new one. That doesn't happen in schools, public schools. Yeah.
No, you get some used garbage.
Like a CRT monitor.
Yes.
And the students ask you, Mr. Moore, what is that? Because they have no idea what's sticking out of the back.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, how come it's not like a half an inch thin?
Yeah.
What's all this stuff on it? It's like, and you feel sad and old. Okay.
You are old.
Yeah, thank you. So your internet isn't working for some reason. Well, is an error message popping up? Is your internet service provider down? Is your network functioning properly, but the page won't load? So what kind of connection do you have, wired or wireless? Those are all some things that you need to check first, because they will help you decide what you need to do.
Internet problems can be tricky, but they're solvable. So first, if you're using Wi-Fi, make sure it's turned on. All too often, when you're using the internet, that connection can get turned off or changed, and that can affect why you're connecting to your ISP. And make sure it's on your computer and on your router. Your router could be turned off, unplugged, changed, etc. You also want to make sure that your router has a password to ensure security and safety for your network. Most schools take care of that for you. You have to log in with your credentials, but just make sure that they do have that. You could try resetting your router if that's an issue, but again, most of the time you don't have access to that. So if you don't have access to your router, just contact your IT. Next, try turning off any electronics that might be sending out an interfering signal. This could be other computers, gaming consoles, mobile devices, etc. So if you're a stay-at-home teacher, etc., like an online teacher, this is how you would check in your own home how you could get this fixed. And viewing explicit material. Well, thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Viewing explicit material is one of the surest ways to get viruses and malware. Just avoid that. You can probably get in trouble with your place of employment if you're looking at that material, and you're going to get a virus and they'll know it was you. Check with your ISP, and finally, if all else fails, call the help desk. The help desk.
They're so helpful. I was glad you got to talk about that one and not me.
Yeah.
If you're on a hardwired connection, and that means you have a cable connecting you or your computer, not you personally, your computer to the wall or to the router, make sure that the physical connection is secure. Sometimes that can get knocked loose for whatever reason. If you're at the school, ask the office if others have been affected. It might not just be you. And if that's the case, if the internet is out for everybody, there's really nothing you can do about it, and odds are your office has already contacted IT and they are working on it. You can also run a virus and malware scan, clear your browser history and your cookies. Sometimes these can interfere with gaining access to the internet. You can try using a secure protocol, meaning when you type in a web address, that HTTP should have an S at the end of it. That is the secure protocol. You can also try switching out cables or plugging into a different port. Sometimes certain ports are activated and others are not. And again, if all else fails, contact the help desk.
Can't say that enough. Yeah. They're good.
Yeah, you'll notice we say that pretty much every time.
Yeah. So your computer, not just the internet, is running slow. Are there error message popping up? Can you open the task manager or the activity monitor on a Mac? Is one program using all of your available processing power? Does the internet work?
On a Mac, you'll need to run a virus and malware scan, clear your browsing history and cookies. Again, these things can eat up your computer resources like a world champion hot dog eater.
What's the record?
It's around 50.
We'll
Or
have
maybe
to
60 or 80.
We need to research.
Maybe
That's
1,000.
like broad. Whoa. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, we will.
Continue.
It's actually kind of sad that that's really a thing. Like, there's a world championship for hot dog eating.
Dude, have you ever had a Nathan's hot dog?
Yeah, those are really good.
Okay.
But I don't think that's what they use.
I wouldn't do it any other way.
Sad day. Okay, off topic. It's kind of... Okay, if you're on a Mac, use your activity monitor. This is found in the applications area in the utilities folder. So you'll use that to shut down the programs that are taking up all of your resources and then uninstall them. Again, if the problem persists,
Call the help desk.
you stole my line.
Well, I was going to say it together, but then you stopped, scaredy pants. So on a PC, do all of the same things, but since Activity Monitor is a Mac-specific app, open the Task Manager by hitting Control-Alt-Delete and selecting it from the option menu. Then shut down the programs that are taking up the most resources. Printer problems, will the printer even turn on? Does it have ink? Is there paper in the tray? Are there any error codes coming up? Because people tend to get kind of violent when printers are not working. So you need to quickly diagnose what the problem is.
Yeah, you never know. If you're using an inkjet printer, number one, welcome to the 90s. Yay. You'll need to check the ink cartridges and put paper in the tray. Yes, those things are pretty essential in an inkjet printer. You can also reset the print queue. If it still isn't working, unplug it for a few minutes, let it calm down, and then plug it back in and try again. If that does not work, call the help desk.
For a LaserJet printer, check the cartridge. You may need to clean it or even shake it up just enough to get the powder inside loose again. If that doesn't work, you can reset the queue or unplug it for a couple of minutes. And always, if all else fails, call the help desk. Yes.
Well, that about wraps it up for basic troubleshooting. No doubt there's problems that we have not covered here. This is not an exhaustive list. But hopefully you've seen that we have offered you several ways to fix your computer problems before you call the help desk. These troubleshooting techniques should always be your first line of support, and the help desk or IT support should be your last resort whenever you're having issues.
If you encounter a problem not listed here, try using some of the techniques we've discussed. You can always Google the problem. Google it is just fantastic. And many solutions will appear. Sometimes it's a bit overwhelming. Remember, Google is your friend, and Google will answer the unanswerable question if asked in the right way. So long for now. Please stop by the End Here module for a review and post-evaluation. It would really help us out receive your feedback to know how we can improve in this and future series.